Microsoft, the latest big tech company to lay off thousands of workers following what has been happening at Facebook, Twitter, Salesforce. They've all had to lay off employees since Joe Biden took over in the Oval Office. The University of Texas in Austin banning TikTok from their networks as well.
Yeah, and are Americans finally fighting back against big tech? For more, let's bring in Colorado Congressman, member of the House Judiciary and Foreign Affairs Committees, and author of the new book, Crushed, Big Tech's War on Free Speech, Congressman Ken Buck. Congressman, thank you for joining us this morning. I definitely am excited to talk about your book, but I want to get your thoughts on what's happening right now in Washington with these classified documents that have been found in Joe Biden's Delaware garage, as well as the Biden Penn Center. I want you to take a listen because we all have heard about transparency from the White House. So take a listen to this.
When the president asked me to serve in this role, we talked about the importance of bringing truth and transparency back to the briefing room.
The Vice President Harris and I and our entire administration will always be honest and transparent with you about both the good news and the bad. I will commit to transparency, and as soon as I am in a position to be able to implement what we're doing right now.
The fact that he spoke to all of you reporters who report on this, and then you all reported on it back to the American people, I believe that is transparency.
Congressman, do you agree with that?
No, I don't think they've been transparent at all. I asked in a letter to the White House for the visitor logs to President Biden's personal residence, where the documents were found. They claim there is no visitor log. That's disturbing to have someone like Hunter Biden with the associations that he has that are really questionable, and then to not know who is in a home that has classified documents in it is not transparent, and frankly, it's dangerous. If you look at these classified documents in the sort of the three incidents that we've had in the last decade, you have Hillary Clinton, then you have President Trump, and then you have these documents that were Vice President Biden's documents before he became president. They've been handled in a much different way. No one has conducted a search warrant of Vice President or President Biden's personal residence or other business residences or business offices. And so really, President Trump appears to be singled out in this situation.
Yeah.
That's not part of transparency.
So, and you're a former district attorney. What do you make of just the way the DOJ and Joe Biden's lawyers have handled this? The DOJ allowed the lawyers representing the target of a potential investigation to gather evidence for that investigation. How unusual is that legally?
Well, once it was determined that President Biden had documents from his vice presidency, classified material, somewhere other than a secure area, the FBI immediately should have conducted the search of all possible places where these documents would have been. These lawyers that worked for President Biden, number one, didn't have clearances to view classified information, and number two, they're not an objective group of people looking for documents. So absolutely unusual. I worked for the Department of Justice for 15 years and then district attorney for 10. We never let the lawyers of a target or subject of an investigation go and determine what evidence we could see.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to us. Congressman, I do want to talk about your book. In your new book, you write that these companies not only have control over free speech, what we see and don't see, but companies like Google, Meta, Apple, Amazon have monopoly control over our business and political life. What needs to be done to stop these companies in their tracks?
Well, there's two really strategies, I think. One, people need to take into account what these companies are all about when they buy products. We can not, avoid having overnight delivery and actually plan ahead and get products from a variety of companies and make sure there's competition in the marketplace. What's more concerning is these companies control information, the flow of information in a democracy. They control elections. They influence elections. They are companies that we need to be very careful of. So when you conduct a search, understand that Google is changing its algorithm and did change its algorithm in 2020 to benefit Joe Biden and to disadvantage Donald Trump. We need to make sure we are getting broad information to make good decisions.
Yeah, the book is excellent. I especially enjoy how you write about how the digital wave began with Barack Obama, really, back in 2008, and how he sort of rode that digital wave into the Oval Office. And then we started seeing millions and millions of dollars being dumped into these companies to get politicians elected, and it's never been the same since. The book is Crushed, Big Tech's War on Free Speech. Congressman Ken Buck, thanks so much for being with us. Good luck with the book. You can get a free copy of Congressman Ken Buck's book with a new special offer from Newsmax magazine, which is a $30 value. You can call or check it out online right now, online at crushed511.com, or call 800-575-6193.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. Your retirement funds are being threatened with even more losses from record inflation, recession, and skyrocketing interest rates. Fortunately, the highly trained specialists at American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. If you call them right now as a special offer, they will give you a free gold coin on your first qualifying order, so don't wait. Call 866-935-4309. That's 866-935-4309, or text Newsmax to 65532. That's Newsmax to 65532.